Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about the new financial system. I've been addressing this topic for a little bit of time on this channel, and today I really want to, really show you guys an in-depth view on what some of these projects are actually really planning. We're going to be talking about Quant, Ripple, as well as Hbar, and also XLM or Stellar Lumens and Hedera. And sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, could hit that like button. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. But we are recording this video a little bit ahead of time, so of course, prices that are shown on CoinMarketCap are most likely going to change. But I do want to talk to you guys about a few things. In regards to the current market structure, I think that a lot of people are just kind of, uncertain on where to put their money. Maybe they're uncertain about even investing into crypto. Maybe they think that we are in a bear market, whatever the case may be, right? But in general, I think that right now we're just in like this very uncertain point where a lot of people don't want to, invest their money. They want to hold the dollar because the dollar is gaining some momentum. But honestly, right now, I think that this is a great time to really address where you are, not only financially, but where your research is, going towards in this market. I think that right now we are on a pinnacle of, I would say, a major moment in time where we could have the opportunity to invest in the future financial system. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first off, let's talk about Quant. So as you guys know, I've been talking about Quant for a very long time, specifically in regards to interoperability between, of course, major networks. Moving on into the legacy systems and, of course, the digital systems being interconnected. Now, we do see here, must a CBDC design always entail trade-offs? Are CBDCs a substitute for stablecoins or a complement to them? And then this is going to be a webinar on the 18th of this month to really kind of talk about the future of finance. Are central banks thinking radically enough about CBDCs? If you guys have missed what Quant is really kind of building here, right? So you guys can go onto their website. They have a whole bunch of these webinars. They have a lot of talks around, central banks and really kind of where CBDCs are headed. But in terms of the topics that are going to be discussed within this webinar, it's basically centered around everything that they really have been addressing and talking about for a very long time. Specifically, we do see, has the momentum towards the introduction of CBDCs stalled? Is the choice between retail and wholesale CBDCs always sui generis? And then we also do see, must a CBDC design always entail trade-offs? Are CBDCs a substitute for stablecoins or a complement to them? To what extent is international agreement on operating rules and standards a precondition of releasing or realizing the full benefits of CBDCs? Is the case for using CBDCs to make cross-border payments cheaper, faster, and easier now settled? What benefits do CBDCs offer? And of course, the list goes on here. But the thing here is that I want to talk to you guys about the names that are basically within this webinar and where they are really kind of positioned at within the financial system. So first off, we do see the head of digital currencies at R3. He and his team have spent the last 12 months developing and running a global CBDC working group with over 100 members, including major central banks from around the world. Now, when we talk about this, I want you guys to understand that Quant has had their hands in the pie for a very long time as the interoperability leader. They have solved interoperability between the legacy systems and the digital, systems to build out that frontier of the future financial system. The connections here in terms of the panelist speakers, Quant has been positioned with a lot of huge names, specifically in regards to even MIT, and of course, Visa, MasterCard, etc. And they're continuing to build out in that area and build out massive connections. Now, we also did see Quant, announce that they are releasing a new website. Now, we are still awaiting this. We are talking about, basically, what are they going to spotlight on this? In fact, they do say here, our new site will explore how the future of finance will be built on blockchain. They are basically confirming that, hey, we've met and discussed with many major financial not only companies, but also fintech giants, specifically even around central banks and banks in general. And we know that the future of finance will be built on blockchain. Leave us your email to, be sure that you're on the first, on the list, to be the first to know, when it's live. Now, when we talk about this, right? So, first off, we address the future of finance, right? Is it going to be built on blockchain? In my opinion, when we talk about just the financial infrastructure that we are currently running on with Swift, I think that it's extremely inefficient. I think that when we talk about digitizing that area, It is going to be centered around DLTs. Specifically, you could call it blockchain technology if you want, but there's obviously other, consensus mechanisms within the space that are not blockchain. For example, Hedera. But I still believe that we are going to see crypto play a very, very vital role within the future of finance. And I'm definitely excited to see this new website because we just seen Ripple launch their new website. And we're going to be jumping into that here shortly. That does address and spotlight many of their solutions. Excuse me. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about some of the jobs that Quant has listed. Now, there's 9 available, but it's not the job titles that I'm, really kind of focused on here. It's the locations. Sweden, United Kingdom. We also see Ireland. We also see, United Kingdom is like multiple areas here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 jobs out of the 9 jobs listed are based in the United Kingdom. I believe that this is because the UK is ready. The UK is ready for CBDCs. I've addressed this with my XRP video from 2 days ago now. And when we look at the other locations like Sweden and Ireland, they were basically targeting the big 4. They are already, working within the US, but targeting the UK and Ireland, that's 3 of the big 4. And I suspect that they will most likely go after Canada as well, which we know that the Bank of Canada has been working with some of these major names for a while. I'm very excited to see where that, really kind of leads to. But a lot of this is around developing, this product, right? This new product, which is going to be the network of networks, which is going to interconnect the digital systems to the legacy systems. Now, other names are definitely a part of this, right? Specifically, even Ripple. Ripple has a massive amount of jobs that they are really trying to fill, specifically around Singapore, United Kingdom, Brazil, United Kingdom again, United States. And this is just like business development. You can see the communications and stuff like that, but what I'm really kind of focused on is engineering. So this is where things get interesting. So there's a lot of liquidity here and payments in general, but liquidity is in the US, as you guys do see, liquidity in Canada, as well as we do see, I know that there was the United Kingdom as well down here that you see United Kingdom in terms of liquidity, but look at all the liquidity job offerings here. Even CBDCs, these are front-end software engineers for CBDCs in the United States as well. The UK is huge here as well. I would say that Ripple is preparing. I think that Ripple understands exactly what they are going to need in terms of the manpower behind something like this. We also see Ireland being labeled here as well because the Big 4 is huge. And this is for a corporate controller in Ireland. I don't know what the Ireland job offer is here. Let me see. Java software engineer as well. So nothing really too crazy in terms of Ireland. It's still for development. But again, I think that Ripple hiring this massive stack load of individuals specifically around, RippleNet payments, liquidity in general. I'm very excited to see where a lot of this does lead to. I think that a lot of these companies are definitely preparing for the future right now. I think that they know what they need to build. I think that they know that it's going to take a massive amount of individuals, and I think that the potential here is going to be unlocked and it's going to be massive, specifically around the traditional financial systems being revolutionized. We do see here from Ripple, traditional finance systems can be slow with high cost and lack of traceability. Small and medium-sized businesses can fall behind as a result. The answer: exploring and adopting digital payments in 2022. And of course, when we talk about this, we've been talking about the major opportunity around small medium enterprises, specifically in regards to even credit line offerings, which again, Ripple does offer. But also, when we talk about digital payments, we talk about cross-border payments, and this is centered around settlement, right? Settlement and liquidity, and I've always addressed settlement and liquidity being the key aspects to really kind of pay attention to. But of course, this is their new updated website. I've shared this with you guys in the past. I want you guys to understand that, although we look at a lot of these, companies specifically not utilizing their tokens, right, their native tokens, because their native token is the thing that really kind of powers a lot of their solutions. But we never really seen a diagram like this where it really is showing you guys forefront and center their native token really kind of being the fuel source that fuels these massive innovations in regards to payments. And I'm very excited to see where this does lead to in terms of XRP's value. But you guys do see that this is globalized already. This entire move is globalized to the new financial system. And don't get it twisted, Hbar is also a part of this. Two great projects in CBDC and digital payment space, MTech and Zimbali Networks, are both working and building on Hedera. CBDC is coming to Haiti to power nation's monetary system, and Hedera will make the transition seamless. Haiti pay. So definitely pay attention to things happening around this space, specifically in regards to CBDCs, digital payments. Digital payments are ramping up in terms of mass adoption, specifically around governments, and of course, we talk about the move towards tokenized cash flow. We are seeing that right now happening before our eyes, and I want you guys to start paying attention, if you guys haven't already, to a lot of these networks that many people are just overlooking at because of the current prices in the market. It does not matter in terms of the prices in the market right now. You got to understand and see the vision through to understand where these projects are headed to in, say, for so a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, right? Because in 5 years, you could have massive wealth. You could have life-changing generational wealth. And we also do see here Stellar for cross-border payments. I've talked to you guys about the cross-border payments market, right? So first off, Ashish Birla was talking about Ripple grasping the $6 trillion a day market. Not the entire market, but going after it. We talk about how much of that money could actually be dispersed between a lot of these projects, specifically layer ones, corridor, and just remittance projects. That's a large amount of capital, and we don't even need to grasp a large portion of that. Just like 1%, daily would be insane for something of that size. And I've always said, we really kind of look at things like Swift. Swift is 100% inefficient. I've always addressed that. But you look at dollar figures like 6 million and 6 trillion, sorry. And 6 trillion on paper, might not seem like a lot, but I'm sure that you guys can understand how much that actually is, because at 1%, that is $60 billion a day. $60 billion a day at 1%. Okay, so think about that. In 1 year, that would be $21.9 trillion for one network to move. That's pretty significant. But I definitely want to pay attention to Stellar Lumens as well. I think that Stellar Lumens, in terms of XRP, I think XLM is a very low risk asset to really kind of invest into if you are already in XRP, because these both move very, very close together. And like I've said, Stellar has been absolutely killing the game in terms of cross-border payments, but also even in regards to remittances. They've been launching massive corridors as well. They've been working with some pretty significant names already. You guys could read all about their case studies as well with some other major names. Specifically Tempo and Cowrie, I've always been focused on this one the most, because they've already been proving the remittance flows that have been built around Stellar, and really seen that efficient use case really kind of prospered in. So I'm very excited to see, again, the future of a lot of these networks, specifically because we see that major move in time already moving towards digital payments and adopting digital, use cases already that could, open the doors for efficiencies to be derived. So I'm very excited to see where XRP, XLM, Hbar, and even Quant, lead to, as we are seeing, again, that major move towards digitization of the financial infrastructure. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all, have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.